Welcome to Castle Building and Remodeling. I'm Lauren Sherber, one of the owners here at Castle Building and Remodeling. We want to welcome you to our team and excited to have you join us and become a part of this great organization. We hope that you find this an enjoyable place to work and as a professional place to work, and we hope that this is a fit with your career for many years to come. Now some high points on the history of Castle Building and Remodeling. So when a client asks you, did you used to be located in blah blah blah, you know the correct answer to the question. Starting off, my dad started in 1977. We were located in southeast Minneapolis. Worked in a lot of houses over by the University of Minnesota before it became predominantly rental units. Then we moved to northeast Minneapolis in 1981. Our original office in southeast Minneapolis was located on East Hennepin Avenue near the U of M. A little bit of fun history. Sometime around the age 11, I decided that manual labor was not for me. Really did everything I could to avoid Castle Building and Remodeling for the next 12 or 13 years, and then got sucked back in after college and a few years in the corporate world. Back in 2000, Castle Building and Remodeling and my dad won the Big 50 award from Remodeling magazine and had the honor of being one of the top 50 remodelers in the country. After going away to college and studying marketing and entrepreneurship, I worked in the corporate world a couple years in the food industry, moved to Texas, worked down there a little while, and decided the corporate life wasn't for me. Well, in 2003, I returned from Texas and decided to get my MBA at the University of Minnesota and joined Castle Building and Remodeling on a full-time basis. After a couple years of growing, in 2005 we outgrew the basement and were able to purchase a building at 2600 Johnson Street in northeast Minneapolis and open an office and put signs up and let the neighborhood know we existed. In 2007, after years of growing and outgrowing the basement and opening a new office, I made the tough decision to split up or break up with my dad, Marty. After working together, we decided we just didn't get along. We both wanted to be in charge, and Christmas and Thanksgiving would be a whole lot better if we split up and both went our separate ways. About a year later, in 2008, the economy was going great. We decided to open a second location in St. Paul on Snelling and Jefferson. We found a great little shop with affordable rent and decided to spend all the money we could borrow on fixing up the shop. Well, not much longer later, the economy tanked, but this turned out to be a great decision and has been one of our best investments and allowed us to quadruple our business in St. Paul and have a local presence and a 651-699 phone number, so people think we're local. 2010 came along, and for the second time, Castle Building and Remodeling was named a Big 50 Remodeler of the Year. And for the first time in the history of the world, a father-son combination won the Big 50. No other company has been awarded the Big 50 award twice under two different owners. Holy cow. Castle has been growing nicely over the last couple of years, continuing to grow each year, fast-paced, 20 to 30%. But I can't do it alone, and so after a few years of working closely with Camelot Builders and Aaron Johnson as a subcontractor, Castle Building and Remodeling and Camelot Builders decided to merge together and become one company. In our continuing efforts to be the king of the remodeling world, Castle Building and Remodeling decided to open a third showroom in southwest Minneapolis in 2012 at the intersection of Diamond Lake Road and Nicollet. This proved to be our biggest investment to date and involved ripping the front off of a building and putting new windows and a facade on and completely remodeling a larger showroom than our St. Paul location. This has turned out to be a great investment as well and has drastically helped us to increase our business in southwest Minneapolis. In March of 2014, Castle Building and Remodeling took a new step and took an adventure into the retail world and buy a store called the Natural Built Home Store that introduced us to green products, helped us learn about green building, and ultimately helped make Castle who it is today. After 3 years of operating the Natural Built Home Store, Castle Building and Remodeling decided that it was no longer profitable to operate as a retail store. The products had become more available at big box stores and over the internet, so we ended up converting the store in 2017 into our fourth Castle showroom located at 4020 Minnehaha Avenue, serving South Minneapolis, the Longfellow neighborhood, and Nokomis neighborhood, and now we're seeing great growth in this area with remodeling projects. As I mentioned, we started in 1977 by my father, Marty Sherber. We've had over 3,300 past customers and completed over 5,800 jobs for clients. My dad started with a pretty simple easy numbering system. When he had his first job, they became customer number 1. And the first job he did for them was job 1-1. If he did a second job for that same person, it was customer 1, job 2, 1-2. So when you start here and you log into a job or go to a job site, you might now see a job number that says 3400-1 or -2. We've now had about 3,400 past clients and done about an average of 3 jobs per client, so we get asked back over time. Castle Building and Remodeling has always focused on older urban homes, and we've always specialized on working in older houses in the city. These houses are typically built between 1900 and 1950. They might not be as square, or they might not be as perfect as newer houses. We think they're built well with good bones, but it takes a special kind of carpenter, and it takes a special set of skills to plan the remodel, to find the materials, to match those old details, and that's something we really pride ourselves on. We're a second-generation business. We're fully insured and licensed, and we've won a lot of awards like Top Remodeler and Best of House. In 2013, Castle decided to launch its own home tour. After many years of participating in the Parade of Homes and the Remodelers Showcase and other Minneapolis-St. Paul home tours, Castle decided to go out on its own, take its plans for world domination on its own, and start its own home tour with multiple homes that only Castle's remodeled. So over the last 5 years, since 2013, we've had many houses open to the public. Usually the last weekend in October, we'll have 12 to 15 houses that we've remodeled. We want to have a more down-to-earth remodeling projects. The problem and why we decided to do this was that all the houses on the Parade of Homes showed the biggest, best projects and the fanciest houses, and only showed $200,000 or $300,000 remodels. And most clients out there can afford a kitchen or a mudroom or a bath or a basement, but they can't afford to live on Lake of the Isles and do a $500,000 project. And that's what that shows. And so our goal was to have an alternative type of tour where people could come through and see our work, see our craftsmanship and our quality, meet our team, meet our project managers, meet our salespeople, win prizes, and really learn about how remodeling works, open the cabinet doors, feel what a cork floor feels like or what in-floor heat feels like, and walk through our projects. We really try to concentrate our sales, and it happens naturally with our showrooms, but our biggest and most of our projects are concentrated right around our showrooms. We've purposely tried to locate our production headquarters, otherwise known as world headquarters, in the center of where all of these sales happen. And what that does or allows is for less time on the road, easier drop-offs and deliveries of materials, and easier and less drive times between jobs for you. Really at the heart of who Castle Building and Remodeling is and why we exist and why people hire us is to provide a better experience for clients. If we be honest, this industry doesn't have the greatest reputation. Most homeowners are fed up, they're tired of, they don't want to have to try to call 20 people and get 2 to call them back, or hire 3 to get 1 to show up. And so our job and our mission is to do better, and to provide a better experience. And to do that, we've got 3 guarantees that we offer that no other contractors offer. And this is a level of professionalism that we try to bring to each and every job, so every client will leave happy and come back to us and recommend their friends and family. The big promises that we shoot for are, number 1, no unexpected costs or change orders. And to do that, we've got to plan really well. We've got to figure out everything before we start, down to paint colors, tile, grout colors, what kind of transition is going to go between the carpet and the hardwood floors. And we've got to have the subs out there. They got to see the project. We've got to know our codes. We've got to have project managers have eyes on it. If there isn't, if the front steps is sinking a little bit, we've got to dig a hole next to those steps and figure out if there's footings underneath there. And to, guarantee people that there aren't going to be costs, then if we miss it, and we should have seen it or could have seen it, then we eat those costs. If it's completely hidden or unforeseen or unforeseeable, then the client has to pay for those costs. But by planning really well, we've got our unexpected costs or change orders down to about 3% of project sales, where a lot of other remodelers are closer to 10% or 5% at a higher number. And of that 3%, 2/3 of that is customer requested. So we've got our unforeseen costs, unexpected, hidden things to about 1% of sales. So that gives clients peace of mind that they won't have to have a bunch of extra money set aside in case of emergencies. We also give a schedule date guarantee, and so we plan out how long we think things are going to take. We add a little bit of padding and give people a guarantee where we say from the time that we tear apart your house to the time that it's substantially complete and ready for you to use. Now, not 100% complete, there might still be a few punch list items or finish up things. But if we go over that, then we start to give the customer a refund of $40 a day. And so we really take seriously starting when we're ready and having everything ready to start and finishing on time. And then we also have a lifetime warranty on our workmanship. And so what this says is if we build it wrong, if we don't do it right, we'll come back and fix it. And that's a lot of things like the grout crack between the countertops and the backsplash because we didn't use a sanded caulk. Well, we gotta go back and fix that. This beam that we put in is settled and now we're getting a crack in the drywall. We got a bunch of screw pops. We gotta go back and fix those. And hopefully we don't do anything wrong like put in a shower that leaks or screw something up. But if we do, we'll go back and fix it, and that gives people peace of mind and lets them sleep at night and helps them justify the price that they're paying for our remodeling. A lot of this really goes back to my father, Marty Sherber. He started this philosophy and put this together and he was a teacher really by trade, and really believed that educating our homeowners and helping them to understand their houses and communicating clearly is the key to having a good relationship with those homeowners and getting asked back in the long run. Like I mentioned, we love older houses in the city. It's really one thing that sets us apart. Any Joe Blow in a truck can remodel a new house in the suburbs that's square and flat, level and even, and has the same materials that are available at Menards. But we are a little more complicated. The base molding might be 12 inches tall and require a custom knife. The hardwood floors might slope and slant. The old boiler system requires a tune-up, not a replacement. So older houses are a little more complicated, and that helps set us apart, that we know how to work with those. We strive to be a full-service, one-stop shop, and what that means is that we can help people with everything from a handyman project to design and planning to a medium-sized remodel that replaces the windows in their house, up to really our bread and butter is $30,000 to $100,000 remodeling projects. That's baths, basements, kitchens, attics, mostly interior, but some additions and exterior projects as well. But we can go all the way up to major whole house remodels, put second floors on, major additions, redo completely empty houses from top to bottom. And so those big projects really help pay the bills and keep us busy all year round. So we can really be a full service one-stop shop and help people with almost anything they need on their house. We're really big on precise planning and open information sharing. Our estimates get very detailed and spell out exactly what's included and not included and what the price is for each item so people can make good decisions. My dad always said that you gotta eat an elephant one bite at a time. If you can't understand that a new hood over your stove costs $10,000 and it's all just lumped together, it's hard to decide if you want to take that out or not if you don't know what it costs. And so we've always believed on helping to value engineer projects and have an open book pricing so clients can make good decisions and understand what things cost. And it all helps us to plan better and make sure we're not missing anything as well. We like to design projects that are respective of their environment and have a timeless quality. We don't have a style here at Castle. We're not only doing projects that are classic or fit with older houses. We work on new houses, we work on condos. If our clients have an old house and they want to make it modern, we'll do it. It's their house, it's their money. We can give them feedback that this might be a bad investment or might affect their resale value or isn't what's trendy now, or you personally don't like it, but it's their house and their money and they can do whatever they want. So our job is to help them decide what to do, help them make good decisions, and help them to make their home their castle. But a timeless quality, there's modern design that has a timeless quality, there's classic design that has a timeless quality, and that's really comes back from a practical standpoint. We believe that we should put in high quality projects and materials and do things right once, and I don't want to see things go out of style and get ripped out before they functionally wear out. I want to do things, and that would be my one philosophy that I'd like to impart, is build things right, build things to last, do it once, And think about this thing being here for 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years. So don't pick things that are really trendy. That would be our mantra, but once again, it's the homeowner's house. It's their choice and their money. We try to provide a great value to our clients by allowing our customers to participate in the remodeling, and that might be through doing demolition or painting or their own tile work. It helps their money to go a little bit further. It helps them to get involved. We also try to provide a great value by going direct to manufacturers and buying direct, cutting out the middleman. That's one of the advantages of having our own showrooms. By providing our own labor, our workforce is really what allows us to be competitive on bathrooms and kitchens and those projects that our competitors that sub everything out can't compete on. We've got a great team here, and we look forward to having you join it. And then we hope to get asked back. Really, the goal is to do a great job for people, help them make their home their castle, and work down their wish list. People with older houses have wish lists, and our job is to help them figure out which order to do that in, help them figure out how to do it most efficiently, help them make a decision so they get to the next thing on their wish list. Now let's talk a little bit about what makes remodeling tough. It is stressful, and it is a roller coaster for our clients. Their houses are torn up, they're spending tons of money, they got people coming and going, they got a dumpster parked out front, their furnace doesn't work, we forgot to plug in the refrigerator and the food went bad. Stuff happens, there's a lot of up and downs just in the remodeling project. You throw in regular life, work events, family events, parents, kids, neighbors, and it can be really stressful. So our job is to try to minimize that stress. Talk a little bit about our planning and how that can help. It's not great to make those decisions along the way during the remodel, during that stressful time. That's really why we push all those decisions out to the beginning. So a little bit about this graphic you're looking at here of the homeowner's emotional roller coaster. What it doesn't show is that for about 7 years, people think about projects on average. And so they're really thinking, and they're looking at Pinterest, and they're looking at house, and they're pulling pictures out of magazines, and opening cabinets at their neighbor's house, and figuring out what they like and don't like, and dreaming about the project they're gonna do someday. So when they actually start calling remodelers and meeting with people, it's a pretty big deal, and they're pretty excited, and they start out real excited when they start design. And then they quickly learn that there's about 150,000 decisions they have to make, and what kind of hinges do they want, and what type of cabinets do they want, and what door style, and a million other things that they have to pick out, down to grout colors and paint colors and things they had never thought about. It's just a lot of decisions. It's a big decision to sign a contract, spend that money. I always joke with people, not a big deal, just have to plan the rest of your life. That's kind of my joke, what school are your kids gonna go to, where are you gonna retire, where are you gonna work, who your friends gonna be, who your neighbors gonna be, do you like the schools, how's crime, lots of decisions go into remodeling. So when they sign it, it's kind of stressful. But get past that, we sign a contract, takes a couple weeks till we can start. It's super exciting. Crews show up, demolition happens, major changes, things get thrown out, there's a dumpster full of stuff in your front yard. It's very exciting. Framing starts to happen, rough-ins start to happen, weeks go by, days go by. It starts to wear on people a little bit. The visually exciting part goes away, and we get to the part where there's plumbing and electric and heating, which aren't quite as exciting or visually interesting. And then normally somewhere around drywall is about the low point in the project because it's dusty and it's dirty, and we're 4 weeks, 6 weeks into having the house torn up and people coming and going and them not getting their normal sleep patterns and having to be dressed before 7 o'clock when workers show up. So people get stressed out, things happen. Sometimes people hit a low. Some clients are great and some clients aren't, but sometimes people hit a low and they freak out and you're there and they're gonna take it out on you. And so what I would say is try not to be defensive. Try to listen a lot. Try to take notes. Write down their concerns. Try to answer their questions if you know the answers, or refer to the scope of work and the plans if that has the answers. If you don't have the answers, don't make up an answer. Listen, take down notes, tell them you'll find out the answer and get back to them. Tell them you will pass on the information to the project manager who will get back to them, and then pass that information on to the project manager so they can get back to them. The key is to not be defensive. The key is to listen and take notes, and the key is to follow up and correct the problem, basically. So we can't make their day better, we can't fix their problem 100%, but we can listen, we can try to solve the problem. So little by little, as the project wraps up, things tend to get better. They get more fun, they get more exciting. Cabinets go in, countertops go in, backsplashes go in, flooring goes in, paint colors go on the wall, knobs and pulls go in. And the project wraps up, and we get out of their hair. Life goes on, they have their friends over and their family over, then their mother-in-law, and they say, "What a beautiful kitchen you have. This is so awesome. I'm so jealous of you." And over time, they forget about the ups and downs and the roller coaster of remodeling, and they think about hiring Castle again and doing more remodeling. But at the time, it's pretty stressful, and the key is to remember that we're in somebody else's house, and our job is to make them have a good experience and have as little of a roller coaster as possible. So, a little bit more about Castle and the team that helps us complete 400 remodeling projects a year. I've been doing a lot of talking, but I'm not the one who does any of the work. When it comes to pounding hammers, I don't do any of the design, I don't do any of the project management, I don't even run the office. So we've got a great team of about 35 employees that help fill in these gaps and make this a great place to work and help us operate and function. So a little bit more about our team and our org chart. Starting at the top of our org chart is myself, Lauren Sherber. I help oversee and manage other folks, do a lot of spreadsheets, help oversee technology, marketing, office operations. And Aaron Johnson, business partner, helps oversee production, operations, oversees project managers and the production team. And now we're gonna cut away and meet some Aaron Johnson and some of our other team members.
My name's Aaron Johnson. I'm one of the other owners here at Castle. I essentially run the day-to-day operations and deal a lot with production, but also production and sales relations. And I also help manage some of the salespeople.
Travis Hansen, manage production.
I'm Scott.
And what do you do here?
I'm a project manager for Castle.
Steve Carr, project manager for Castle.
My name is Tambra, and I am the finance manager and the HR manager. So if you have any issues with payroll, benefits, bills to pay, anything of that nature, I'm the one that you're going to want to talk to.
I'm Amy Hink, and I'm the design manager at Castle.
Dave Ross, and I'm a project manager.
I'm Brian Evilsizer. I am the Small Projects Division Manager, Warranty Manager for Castle Building and Remodeling.
Hi, I'm Colleen, the marketing manager. I also do receipts.
My name's Larry Bracewell, and I'm project manager here at Castle.
Miriam Rothman, aka Mimi, and I'm an office manager.
I like the people that I work with and the relative independence and management's ability to delegate things out.
The people and the flexibility is what I like about the place. It's not regimented of, ooh, we're an 8 to 5 company. Some guys show up at 6 and work till 3, other guys show up at 8 and work till 5. Get your work done, make everybody happy.
Flexibility is probably the biggest thing for me. I can work anywhere, so right now I'm at the warehouse today, but I can go to any showroom and kind of make my own hours as long as I get my work done.
I love the flexibility. Everybody here is really easygoing. We work hard, a lot of really smart people, which I definitely appreciate.
The people, all the people are great.
The environment.
The people are great to work with.
Everybody's really awesome. It's just, it's a great company to work for.
This is the happiest office in all of Castle. Hold on tight, there's a lot to know, there's a lot to learn.
Show up on time and be ready to work.
Well, I guess pretty much show up on time every day and learn.
I would say read the newsletters so that you know when happy hours are and when we have events and things that are pertinent to you.
Never be afraid to try something new and effectively figure out how to say no.
Send your receipts in right away. Don't delay. I'll be after you. Track your mileage, because I always forget to, and you make your more money that way.
Work really hard and be good at what you do.
Just do the best you can, and communicate.
I think I've heard it repeated somewhat as communication, but more specifically, if you're put onto a job and you've maybe done it once, or what task that you're set up to do you've perhaps only done once, make sure you communicate and say, hey, can I get some more input, or I'm not comfortable doing this. So let us know what your weaknesses and strengths are before you just dive into something that you don't know about.
Best advice I can give you is to make sure that you're communicating well, you're punctual, and that you have good work ethic and good attitude, essentially, because it's a good place to work, and a lot of what contributes to that is everyone having a good attitude.
A little bit more about our management philosophy and how the managers here and the management team here at Castle runs and thinks, so you can understand what we're shooting for and how to do a good job and keep us happy. We try to run Castle Building and Remodeling as a meritocracy, and that's a big word that means that people get judged on their merit, not on their tenure, not on their years of experience, not on who they know or friends with here at the company. But we really try to judge people based on their performance, their attitude, their willingness to help out whenever possible, and want to promote people based on their skills and their work ethic and their work performance, and not on their age or rank or experience. Some goals that the Castle management team really tries to adhere to make this a good place to work. We always try to have a backlog of work of 4+ weeks to mitigate the seasonality of our business. There's a definite seasonality where things get busier in the fall all the way up to Christmas, and then fall off in the winter. So we apologize if you don't get 40 hours a week in the winter. It's hard to avoid. We do our best to try to fit in small jobs and give incentives to clients to do jobs during the winter, and to move sales up, and to do projects that are our own in-house projects in the winter to keep people busy. But we can't always guarantee 40 hours of work every week. We can guarantee there's probably going to be some overtime in the summer that'll probably help make up for it, but we encourage you to know that there's seasonality in the industry and to plan ahead financially, because there can be some slower times in the winter. But we really try to keep a 4-week backlog of work at all times. And then really try to use subcontractors as needed when we get too busy, or on our largest projects that'll tie up our crews for too long. Our work crews and our guys in the field are really the eyes and ears, and there are hands on the job site, and without those skills we don't get anything done. So we appreciate you and want to keep you busy year round if we can. Our next philosophy is that we really try to run our business like a successful professional sports organization. And in contrast to some businesses say we're like a family, and we want to be like a family and we want everybody to be friends. But the real contradiction or distinction that we try to make is that in reality with a family, you can't fire your kid if he doesn't do something, or you can't say, Johnny, you're off the team because he didn't shovel the sidewalk. But in a business, sometimes we're forced to make those tough decisions. We don't want to. We want to be a professional organization where if you do your job and show up, communicate, act like a professional, do a good job, then you've got a place to work for a long time. And we hope that that's how it all works out. Another philosophy here at Castle on the management team is stability. Although we've opened many showrooms over the years, we don't envision any new investments, expansions, acquisitions, or major changes in the coming 5 years. Our goal is really to continue to do what we do more remodeling, to grow our footprint here in the cities, to fill in the gaps and get more remodeling projects, mostly in the city of Minneapolis and St. Paul and first ring suburbs, and eventually grow to $10 million in remodeling sales to become one of the largest and most profitable design build remodelers in the area. Our goal is to build a sustainable business model that's good at all sizes of projects in all economies. And so that means being able to do big projects when the economy's booming, and being able to do small projects when everybody's patching things and fixing things up and worried about money. Another key objective is to build a profitable business model that allows the owners the compensation commensurate with the risk and effort that we take as owners. And so we sign personal guarantees and put our house on the line every day. And so in return for that risk of being owners and having to pay the bills if we fail, we've got to make good income, and sometimes we have to make business decisions that look at the bottom line. In fact, always we have to. Sometimes you won't like those decisions, but I want you to know that we're making them in the best interest of the company and keeping the company surviving and keeping you employed. And so come talk to us. The long or the short is if you've got questions, you don't understand something, you're not happy with something, we've got an open door. We want you to talk to us. We want you to share with us. We want you to tell us what you're thinking, and we'd much rather hear it before you're mad, before you leave, than find out after the fact. So please come talk to us. All right, our final management philosophy is to hire experienced team members who've been around, who've done the position that we're looking to fill, and try to remind ourselves that we're not a school, we're not a training organization. It's hard for us to take somebody who wants to be a designer and make them a designer. It's hard for us to take somebody who wants to be a carpenter and make them a carpenter. There's ways to start as a delivery person or a grunt and work your way up, but in general, we're not a school and we're not a training organization, and so we hired you because you've got the skills we need to fill this position. Our goal, in summary, our goal is to hire great people who are the best at what they do and to build a great team who can help us execute and become one of the best remodelers in the nation. A little bit more about our design and planning team and our design and planning process. This is really what helps set us apart from our competitors, and really nothing happens until we sell something. So as a design build remodeler who really tries to help clients make good decisions and understand the remodeling process, it all starts with seeing a project or thinking about a project, helping people to think through the smartest and best way to do this project, helping share pricing with them so they can make good decisions. And that's really where we start, is with a consultation. So clients call in, Erin talks to them on the phone, listens to their ideas, talks about potential prices, make sure they're a fit as far as area, budget, overall fit with Castle, make sure we're good, and have a salesperson or set up one of our designers to come out for initial consultation at their house. During that consultation at their house, we help to create a vision, talk through the project, decide what makes sense feasibly, what's possible physically, and talk through budgets again and make sure that what the client is thinking about is a good fit, that their vision is a good vision. We help them steer that and make smart choices. After that visit at their house, what we'll do is put together a budget analysis using an Excel spreadsheet, 600 line item list of costs to help figure out as close as we can at that point what we think this project's going to cost, the high and low budget analysis cost prediction that we share with the client so that they can help understand the costs, see what each part costs, decide which portions they want to do, not do themselves. So that's really our planning tool and becomes our guide throughout the whole project. And clients really love it because it's a lot more detailed than our competitors or our competitors' final bids even. And so with that budget analysis is a price for a design and planning contract. And so typically we charge about 3% of the projected project cost to go through our design and planning process. And so that design and planning process I mentioned earlier, and that's where we get very detailed and help draw plans, figure out the best layouts, and I'm going to go into more details about that design and planning process next. But that can take about 4, 6, 8, 12 weeks depending on how big that project is. After we've got that design and plan complete and I've had a chance to make sure that the project will work and pick out all of our materials, then what we're going to have is a site visit with a lot of our trade partners. Day where lots of guys in trucks show up to the job site, get their sets of plans and their scope of work, walk through the job, take a look at what they need to take a look at, ask the questions they need to ask, give a chance to give us a bid on the project. So about a week later we get all of that pricing together and back to the client and sit down with final pricing, make final decisions, get to a point where we can sign a contract. We then sign a contract and usually have lead times of 4 to 6 weeks before we can start a project. And that's the design and planning process. Our professional team of planners has gone to school for either interior design, architecture. They're highly skilled and trained. And we really call them more than interior designers. I like to call them remodeling designers, although they don't always like that term. But why I say remodeling designers is because their job is to try to help plan the project as best as possible. And an interior designer might be able to help you pick the nicest toilet paper holder, the best paint color for the wall, the nicest drapes. Our project planners or designers are really remodeling designers. It can help you help the client think through a project, know the costs of moving a window, or how much a stucco patch costs, or what the cost is to replace lead plumbing under a toilet or bathtub, and when to anticipate those things, and which cities, and what the codes are in this area versus that area. And so it's great to talk conceptual things, but our designers are a little more experienced and have that experience and have been around. So the first step of the design process is conceptual design, and that's where the designer really helps think through the layout and the best way to utilize the space. And that's to help the homeowner think outside the box, give them ideas they may not have thought of, and be creative with the space. The second step after conceptual design is preliminary design, and that's where we get into more details about the materials, the finishes, the fixtures, the textures, and the colors. You can get into 3D graphics and renderings and really give people a close to photorealistic example of what the project is going to look like. Once we've made all those decisions, have our site visit, get pricing back, and have a project that's ready to run with, we'll make final designs that we use to pull a permit with the city, that the homeowners sign off on and approve, and that become the job site plans that our carpenters and subcontractors work off of. Another key part of the design and planning process that I didn't mention is something that really separates us from our competition are the 4 showrooms that we have throughout Minneapolis and St. Paul. These showrooms are intended to, 1, be a billboard to get us phone calls and make sure that people know we exist, and 2, be a place where our designers can meet with their clients, show them materials, and where the client can see their cabinet selection with their countertop, with the tile, with the paint color, and the chip for the plumbing fixture, and kind of avoid driving around town to 25 different showrooms to look at materials. Our designers in these showrooms are really tailored for the age of house and the type of remodeling projects we do, and is really a key differentiator for us and our competition. So our first showroom we opened was on Johnson Street in Northeast Minneapolis at 2600 Johnson Street. We currently have a nice showroom there. Our second showroom that we opened is at 362 Snelling Avenue South in Highland Park in St. Paul. Our third showroom that we opened is at 5 West Diamond Lake Road near Nicollet and Diamond Lake Road off of 35W and 62 in Southwest Minneapolis. Our fourth showroom is at 4020 Minnehaha Avenue in Minneapolis and has a little bit more of a modern feel, and also has a salvage room where we sell our used building materials. So when you see something good come out of a job site, like an old door or a window or a buffet, and it's going to go in a dumpster, you don't get to take it home. It gets to go to our showroom. We've got extra tile that we're not leaving for the homeowner. We've got a misordered sink or window or thing we can't use and can't return. We take it to this spot, try to avoid putting things in the landfill. We try to sell it through newsletter, let customers know and help them pick things out from there. So that's our way of being green. Our fifth location, our production headquarters, our world headquarters, is where our office team and our project management team works out of, and where deliveries come to. It's a busy place. This is where we get all of our materials and stage things, and it really helps us to be efficient and execute on the jobs and get done on time. So a little bit about green remodeling. We believe strongly in being as eco-friendly as possible. Our clients tend to ask for products and want products that are green and eco-friendly, and are looking for ways to make their homes more energy efficient, use less water, eliminate waste, use products that are long-lasting, and they're concerned about their indoor air quality and their health of the materials. And so we do our best to offer those types of materials and to listen to their concerns and work with their health needs whenever possible. And so some of the big things that we do here or have done at Castle to make us green: participated in the Minnesota Green Star program, which is a certification, and completed the first ever project in their pilot program a few years ago. We've done 2 projects with them now. Our designers have a lot of certifications and training around green, and can offer clients as good assistance as any other company here in town. The bottom line is that Castle is not the lowest cost company, and our goal isn't to be the lowest cost company. We want to be the best value overall, and the best overall value, and the most professional. And so that best overall value comes not, like I said, from the lowest price, but from giving the best overall service, warranty, experience, and finished product in people's house. And so we've got to get a quality remodeling project And that's kind of a given. I haven't talked a lot about that, but people do hire us because of our quality, but they also care about the customer service, the design, and the communication, the warranty, and so there's a lot of pieces that go into it, but and it all kinds of adds up. So our goal is to have a good reputation, to give people a comprehensive estimate, not to play games, not to have a lot of change orders, and to get asked back, finish on schedule, do it right the first time. So really, to summarize, our goal and what we need your help with is to help to deliver a better experience for our clients. Most of our clients don't actually know the difference between good remodeling and really good remodeling. They don't know the difference between a standard trim joint and a really tight, perfect mitered trim joint. What they do know is if we show up when we're supposed to show up, if we lock the door when we're supposed to leave, if the dog gets out, if the electric service gets turned back on, if we finish on time, if it costs what it's supposed to cost, and if it looks nice like the picture they envisioned when we're all said and done. So to help them have a good experience or the best experience possible, recap our real big guarantees and the things we're shooting for, are to give people no unexpected costs or change orders through a thoroughly planned project, a schedule guarantee, which involves paying people $40 a day if we're not done on time, and a lifetime warranty on our workmanship. So let's do it right the first time.
If you have any questions about your employment with Castle, start by looking over the HR Employee Resources webpage. Just go to www.castlebri.com/HR-employee-resources in any internet browser. We have linked almost all forms, how-to documents, and other employee benefits information here for your easy access.
In summary, we want to thank you for joining the Castle Building and Remodeling team. We're excited to have you here as a member of our team. We look forward to seeing you grow, prosper, and be a part of this team over the next coming years. Thank you.